Hello. Welcome live. I'm back. Something on my face. I'm back. And I want to talk about this Israel Hamas like conflict that supposedly be settled, and Hamas is sending back the wrong bodies while our president is paying for the wrong bodies to come back. So y'all know my feed usually get cut every time I go live. So hopefully I don't get cut today, because what I'm going to talk about today might be real sensitive, and some people might get offended and they might take it the wrong way. But you know, what's crazy is the guy Cenk Uygur or whatever from the Young Turks. I'm not a fan of him by no means. I'm not a fan of Cenk Uygur or whatever his name is. I'm no fan of him. But like I tell y'all, when people are right, they're right. So I'm gonna find this clip where he was he went to Piers Morgan live, and he was talking about how Israel pretty much owns us. He talked about how Israel, let me try to spell this dude's name real quick. He talked about how Israel owns us and how corrupt Israel is, basically. There is no evidence you are defeating America. So I got to show y'all what he said. I'm just trying to find a video real quick, but let me see real quick. Where is it at? Here it is. Let's see, right here.
No, because I haven't finished the goddamn sentence. You think you own everything. Go ahead. You don't own everything, Rabbi Shmuley. You don't own the American people. By the way, when is America going to get its $300 billion back? What Israel is doing is saying, we get to murder, we get to kill, and you can't call us any names. We get to call all Muslims who fight back against us terrorists. We get to attack all of our neighbors. They attacked Syria again today. We get to break all the laws. We get to commit war crimes. And I'm telling you right now, just like the Germans, you do not have the right to commit war crimes, to commit a genocide, to kill all those children. Israel is now one of the most monstrous states I have ever seen in my lifetime. They commit endless terrorism. They rob the American people of our money to rob Palestinians of their land.
All right, so y'all heard it from the Young Turks, Cenk Uygur, or whatever his name is, Cenk Uygur. He was talking about how America and the Israel-America relationship is, and how basically Israel, I've been hearing people say Israel owns us. Every president has been, as of late, been saying how committed we are to Israel, and how if you say anything that they feel like is anti-Semitic or anything that's remotely about the Jewish people, then you're going to get canceled. And that's kind of what he was talking about. But I don't know, like, I feel like whatever is going on with this Trump administration in Israel, we need to get down to the bottom of it, because not just Israel, Qatar. I know y'all heard, if y'all didn't see my last video, Qatar gifted Trump a plane for like a $400 million plane or private jet or something. And in return, if y'all don't know, Qatar is building a military base on American soil. It has been approved by our president to build a military base on our soil, because I feel like it's because he got gifted from Qatar when they gave him that plane. Now he feel like he owed him something. So for the first time in American history, it's going to be a military base that's not an American military base on our soil. And aside from that, I would like to talk about this economy and how everything is bad right now. Like the top banks, their economics is looking real good. So if you're rich and wealthy and you got money in these top banks, then you're gonna be okay. But for the everyday people are starting to feel a strain. The gas prices are up and down, pretty much usually up. The grocery prices are going up. The shrinkflation is happening. The end of Joe Biden term, everybody has something to say about the economy. I heard so much stuff about inflation and the economy that I was just over it. Every day on the news, mainstream media, every day on Instagram, every day people talking about how much inflation was and how high everything was and how the price of everything was just going up and up and up and up. But now that Trump is in office and the numbers are just looking 10 times worse already, 10 months in office, everything is up, except for the pay. And I was just talking to my brother today about why this matters. And my brother don't follow politics, my younger brother. He probably not gonna like me talk about him, but my younger brother don't like to follow politics. And he was trying to debate me that it don't matter who you pick. They're gonna do what they want to do anyways. I know y'all heard that before, and I know I've heard it many times. It don't matter who you pick. They're gonna want to do what they want to do. It don't matter. And that's what he was basically saying. And I was explaining to him how he was talking about his hardship, his financial hardship right now. And I was like, the reason why you're going through it right now is because you don't vote. He don't vote. He didn't vote. And it's people like my brother and other people that always have a 2 cent to put in to talk about why things are bad and why they are the way they are. But those same people don't go out and vote. That percentage of people that sit around and have an opinion that don't go out and vote are usually the ones that can make the difference. If you look at the last election, it was a really close race. Like, even though Trump would like to say he won by a landslide, it was less. It was like a really close race. In some states, he only won by a few thousand votes. So these people that like to have an opinion but don't like to go out and vote, they went out and voted, we wouldn't be in this mess. Even though y'all know, like I know, oh yeah, the No Kings rally is this Saturday across the country. Make sure y'all check into the No Kings rally. This is where we fight back against this regime. Thank you from, I didn't really get to see who said it, but thank you for my users who reminded me. Make sure y'all go out and to these rallies, because I know we might feel like our voice is small and we don't have a lot to work with, because we really don't. We don't have the House. We don't have the Senate. We don't have the Supreme Court. However, we do still have a voice if we come together. This whole thing has, this whole MAGA movement has been about dividing people. They're bringing this whole division thing back, where it's like black versus white. It's like history is repeating itself. Black versus white, we had got past that. We were supposed to be working together on the same team. Now you see more racism on the forefront. I'm not going to say that it went away ever, but you see more racism on the forefront now than you ever seen probably in your lifetime if you were born within the last 40 years. People are being attacked by groups because of their skin color. A lot of these MAGA people are really bold, and they like to jump in front of people's faces, and they like to try to jump people, and they like to jump on people of color. Now they're talking about walking around over here like the Wild Wild West. Everybody's carrying guns and everybody gun happy, especially in Florida, where they made it open carry in Florida. Open carry, stand your ground, along with no permits needed. I don't know about y'all, and I don't know how y'all feel about the Second Amendment, but I can tell you right now that what's going on, it only goes to show that they are what they're doing is they're trying to cause a civil war. They're trying to get the black people to go against the white people, just like it was before segregation. This is what's happening. And if you're in Florida and you think that you're going to be a person of color or any kind of black, brown, whatever, yellow, whatever color you want to get, red, I don't care what color. If you're not white and you get caught carrying open, even though they saying that's the law, you're risking your life. So I would recommend anybody who's thinking about doing that, don't do it, because your life will be on the line, because you know how it goes. When they pull over a person that's a non-white person, y'all know that the temperature is already up. Y'all know that they come to your car with their hand on their stuff already ready to make plays and telling you, asking you got weapons and guns and money. And I know, if y'all know like I know, I've been searched multiple times, never been arrested. Never been arrested in my life, not even as juvenile. But yet, for some reason, when I get pulled over, these cops like to come up to my car with their hands on their guns. I don't know if I can say it on this live without getting cut, but they like to come up to my door and my windows on some ultra aggressive stuff, like I'm a criminal, like I'm gonna jump out and do something to them. And they like to ask me, do I have any weapons and large amounts of money, and do I have any drugs and all of this weird stuff. They ask me, and put your hands where I can see them, and it's the whole no sudden moves and all of this stuff that I get. And y'all think that because y'all changed the law for me to open carry, I'm a drive around open carry so these people can unalive me. And I know I'm not the only one to think like this, but if you're not thinking like this, be smart. Don't do it. They're trying to take it back to the Wild Wild West. What's happening in this country right now is a shame. Right now, as y'all know, my last feed got cut because I said the word EPSTEIN. Y'all know multiple times. And my feed got cut. They always cut my feed, and then I go and appeal it, and then the appeal is approved. So it's like they don't want me to talk about it, because if I talk about Epstein, then my feed usually gets cut. So I try not to say his name, but I had to say at least one time for y'all who don't know what I was spelling. The thing is, everything that's happening, the Hamas war, the this, ending these wars, everything that's going on with Putin and all of these people, y'all know why all of these things are just distractions from what's actually happening right now in this country. And it's sad, because if you say it out too loud, or if you speak on it too loud, then you're gonna be banned or blocked, or your video's gonna hit the community guidelines. And it's like that's what's happening, you know. So y'all know everything. So y'all know it was a special election. Let me remember the name so I don't mess it up. It was a special election, and a Democrat won a seat in the House, and they're holding up her election because they don't want to have a vote for releasing these files. Y'all know what happens. They'll do anything, and they're doing everything to make sure that that those files aren't released. So right now it's just like, y'all know all of this stuff that's happening is a distraction. But like I said earlier, the banks, her name is, I don't even know how to say it. It's a Spanish name, but I'm gonna show it to y'all. So for y'all who know how to pronounce it, I don't, that's her name. Maybe I'll ask Gemini or something how to say it later, but y'all see, they're holding up her election. They don't want to give her seat because it makes the numbers too close, and just that one vote with the few people that's on the other side that's willing to vote for it, they might have to release these files. So y'all know they're gonna do anything and everything to make sure those files aren't released. So don't fall for the distractions. I feel like even the thing that happened to Charlie Kirk, I feel like it was a distraction. I don't know what's going on. I know they've been real quiet about that story lately about the kid who supposedly did it. I've seen a lot of videos to debunk the whole theory that this guy went up on a roof with this World War I gun and assembled and disassembled and carried in his bag and took this shot from a 200-yard range and all of this stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff to debunk that from happening. It's to the point right now, Joe Rogan, I don't know if y'all know who Joe Rogan is, but if you know who Joe Rogan is even calling this stuff out. So I'm gonna play a clip from y'all from Joe Rogan, what he was just recently saying about what's happening right now in America. Now this was one of the people who actually helped him win. He was all out trying to help this guy win, and now it's starting to show that basically he's starting to see the light that we already all saw. I don't know why it took him so long, but he's starting to see the light. So I'm gonna show y'all a clip right now of what he had to say for my people who missed it. Hold on, why is my video not showing? Hold on one second. Here we go. Let's see it.
Let's protect.
Check this out, y'all. For y'all who don't know.
People who have done horrific shit to kids. You want to be on that list, but whatever's on that list must be so destabilizing. 51 to 49.
Okay, the Senate voted 51 to 49 to defeat an amendment that would have forced the Department of Justice to release all files related to Jeffrey Epstein. The vote was largely along party
Both
lines,
sides.
with 2 Republicans joining all Democrats in supporting the amendment.
Oh wait, not both sides. It was it's the Republicans voting against this shit.
It was 2
It
Republicans
says
that
2
actually
Republicans joining the
that
Democrats
joined the
in supporting
Democrats.
the
And one of them
amendment
was
to
Rand Paul,
defeat
and I
it.
forgot who the other
So
one was.
why are the Democrats interested in defeating it?
Well, let's
He was
ask,
reading it
no,
wrong.
I think this
He
is
was
saying
reading it
that the
wrong.
Democrats want it to come out and the Republicans don't. And
Okay.
party lines. Let's ask Perplexity, why won't they release the Epstein?
So I was gonna. There's Eric Swalwell, who's I guess.
I read it wrong. No, okay, so the Democrats were not. The Democrats were pushing this. The Republicans
Yes.
fought against it. Okay, I fucked that up. So 51 to 49 is crazy. So they just voted along party lines. So they're probably told to do this.
Right. So what the fuck's in there, man?
So then they've been. Not only is the government shut down right now, I think that might affect it some, but they're in recess. Congress is. And so this Eric Swalwell said this stuff today. Again, it might not be true.
So that's Joe Rogan. I'm not gonna show the whole clip. Joe Rogan is coming out against him. Marjorie Taylor Greene is coming out against it. These are people who helped him win. These are MAGA people who helped him win. But they see what's happening, and now they're actually coming out speaking on it because we all know that all of this stuff that's been going on, the government shut down, the Charlie Kirk stuff, and the Hamas war, this guy talking about he stopped 8 wars and all this stuff. All of this stuff was always intended to take y'all mind and off of what's really going on and become a distraction of what's really happening in this country right now. No one's talking about the economy. And that's why I made this segment tonight that's going live with y'all. Because why is not anyone complaining about the economy? I make a lot of videos about how the price of everything is up. The electricity is up. How hard it is on a lot of people. Now, for the people who voted that were Black MAGA, that were Hispanic MAGA, that were anybody that made low income MAGA, y'all just cut y'all EBT. A lot of people don't understand. The people who I know that get EBT, because I know people that get EBT. I'm not going to try to act like I'm above nobody else. I know people that get EBT. And I can tell you right now, I just heard somebody say that they had to show their lease. They had to go down and show their lease to get approved. I know some of y'all are going to say this is good. They shouldn't be on it anyways. But who are you to judge people and say what people should be on when they got to feed their kids and their family? So they making people show the lease. I know people are getting approved for lower amounts. People are getting denied. People are getting reduced. Yeah, again, some of y'all going to say this is a good thing. However, they should go to work. A lot of these people do go to work. A lot of them have good jobs. They do go to work, but they don't make a livable wage, especially in Florida. I don't know how many of y'all on here live in Florida, but if you live in Florida or Texas or New York or California or anywhere like that, Texas, or like I said, Texas already, but these places, you would know that even if you work and you make $20 an hour, $22 an hour, $25 an hour, it's still not enough. So if these people want to go get grocery and they want the government to pay for it, then guess what? It's the government fault. It's the rich and the very wealthy people fault that these people on EBT. Now, some of them are going to gain the system. You're going to get that. But so what? So what? Who cares? The very wealthy people get more subsidies than the people at the bottom. Now, I don't know if y'all heard that, but I said the very wealthy people at the top, they get more government assistance and other forms of government assistance than the people at the bottom. What you think was in the big, beautiful bill? What do you think Project 2025 is? So I met a kid the other day. He goes to the school out here in Florida, in Bradenton, Florida. It's called IMG Academy. If y'all don't believe me, look up IMG Academy. And you will see that the per year is a private high school. Per year is $90,000. And it's not a high school. Actually, I'll take that. It's 6th grade through 12th grade. This school is $90,000 per year. Now, in Tampa, where I live at, we have a school called University of Tampa. It's a college. Very popular college. It's a private college, and everybody says it's expensive. And it is expensive. But this college is $50,000 a year, whereas this other school that's 6th grade through 12th grade is $90,000 a year. So imagine your kid went there from 6th grade to 12th grade at $90K a year. $500,000 for education. That's going to give them a high school education. So the fact that people are complaining about people who get EBT and Section 8 and government assistance and SNAP food and WIC and all that, think about the people at the top that don't pay no taxes. Think about all of these very wealthy people that's out sitting right now on a cruise in the middle of the ocean, and you don't even want to know what they're doing in the middle of the ocean, doing all kind of weird stuff. They got these women out there topless on the middle of the ocean, sitting on a $100,000 yacht. Why they doing all of that? And y'all complaining about the people at the bottom for getting EBT and getting Section 8. What about those people that's on those private jets right now that cost $50,000 to go one way? These people own these planes that's $400,000, $500,000 planes, and they taking off from these private airports that nobody else can afford to live. Where you got to get in that community, they literally have an airport in their community sometimes. These people own helicopters. So while you complain about the people at the bottom, and you complain about the economy and how like the people at the top like to say the people at the bottom are not working hard enough. They want to say that and believe that y'all are not working hard enough. I don't know how much harder we can work. You know, I know y'all seen the commercials. America runs on Dunkin'. I talked about this in the last segment. Why people drinking so much energy drink and coffee right now? Why is energy drink? It might be a good start to look into some coffee or some energy drink, because they're draining the people at the bottom. People at the bottom are being drained. The middle class is being drained, while the upper class is outside right now sipping on margaritas, in the middle of the ocean on some secluded island, some kind of, Diddy type party stuff going on. They doing that, and the government is giving them all kind of breaks. They getting all kind of tax cuts and breaks and all kind of money and refunds and returns, while y'all are sitting here complaining about people getting EBT and SNAP benefits, which is like 1% of the budget. This stuff, like these benefits, Medicaid and Medicare and help for the VA veterans and all that stuff, like 1-2% of the budget. Whereas you got all of these top bank people with the reports come out today. These people who got money, these wealthy people in the banks, the people who own the banks, the people who own all these sports, while y'all complain about the people at the bottom, what happened with that big, beautiful bill? They just gave a tax cut, which is way more than what they're giving these people at the bottom. So imagine taking away whatever millions it costs a year to pay for EBT and for SNAP and housing and all this stuff. Imagine that. And then imagine the amount of money that they just got cut from their taxes. Think about that. While y'all complaining about the people trying to find a way to gain the system and get some EBT, well, they might get $400. They might get $2,000 if they got a bunch of kids. But guess what? So what? That little $2,000 they get in a month, that's $24,000 a year. Yeah, that's a lot of money from the government, right? But think about all the money that these wealthy people, all the grants, all of the money they're getting, all of the funding they're giving them. Look at what's happening with Elon Musk. Look how much money he got from the government. Look how much money. Why you think all these billionaires like Tim Cook and even the TikTok people and all these people, why you think they circle around this man right now? Why you think every time he has something, they want to all come over there and ride his horse and talk about how great he's doing and how because of him that life is great and everything is going to be okay and there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow and the leprechauns are there and they're not GAY, they straight leprechauns and they're at the end of the rainbow. That's what they talking about. But these are the people that's getting the most help. most of y'all, if y'all don't know, like I found out, y'all gonna find out. Go and try to get a big old like business loan. Go out there to the bank. Go out to Wells Fargo or Chase or one of these city banks. Go out there tomorrow and say, I need $100,000 loan. Watch how much of stuff they ask y'all for. Watch how, if you had what they was asking you for, you wouldn't even need $100,000. If you had the stuff that they was asking you for, then you wouldn't need their money. So isn't it possible? I don't care how good. I know y'all know. I don't care if you got a 700-800 credit score, because I have went in there with an 800 credit score. Them people ain't finna just give you no money. Go on, if y'all don't believe me, for the people who gonna have something to say, and some of y'all gonna say they gave it to me, but I bet you it wasn't black people. I bet you it wasn't minorities. Some of the white people can get it. However, what I'm saying is that the average person who ain't got it ain't gonna get it. You cannot go in the bank right now and say, I need $200,000. I'm trying to buy. I'm trying to buy something. I'm trying to invest into my company. Even better yet, go ask them for $1 million so you can buy a commercial property. Go ask them for $1 million. I want some of y'all to actually do this and report back what they told y'all. Go out to y'all closest bank, wherever y'all banking at, and go in there tomorrow and say, you know what? I want to get a loan for $1 million so I can buy a commercial property. Watch what paperwork. Watch what stuff they want to see in order for you to try to even get a piece of anything. So when y'all complain about the people at the bottom and the people in the middle, the people that make less than $200,000 a year getting government subsidies, think about all of these rich billionaires and millionaires who can go in the bank right now and borrow $1 million. They can go in the bank right now, get $1 million. So now that's not government subsidies, but guess what else they can do? They could go to the presidential levels in government and get these contracts that they could go get these contracts if they got these construction companies and tech companies, and they can go right to the government and ask for $15 million. And a lot of them are going to be granted that money. And y'all know, with this whole trickle-down economics mindset that these capitalists have, the people at the bottom ain't never going to get a cut of that money. So I would like for y'all, whoever support this channel and support what I'm talking about, let's start complaining about the economics. Let's start complaining about the inflation. Let's complain about the job market. I know they say you shouldn't complain, but this is a time to complain. There is a No Kings protest going on this weekend. I want everybody to talk about the economy. Let's get back to talking about the economy, because what they did to Joe Biden and to Kamala is they tore them down by blaming everything in the economy that went wrong on them. They didn't talk about what this man did before he left office. They didn't talk about the fact that COVID happened, that wasn't his fault, that it actually was their fault. They didn't talk about none of that. And that's where we at. So I want y'all to talk about the economy. Keep talking about the inflation. Keep talking about the job. You asked for a $500 loan, and what happened? You got denied. Let me see what that said. And let's see right here. Community flag comments detected. No, I want to see the comments. I really want to see it. You asked for $500 at the bank. Yeah, and get a deposit to the bank, and they denied you. See what I'm saying? $500. They wouldn't give you $500. Think about that. You know what happened to me one time? True story. I went to Wells Fargo, and I'm going to say Wells Fargo because that's where I went. And at the time, I had a couple dollars. This was under Obama was the president. So this was when I actually had a couple dollars in my pocket. So I went into Wells Fargo. I had $10,000 sitting in my Wells Fargo account. I had $10,000 sitting in my Wells Fargo account for over a year. And I didn't touch it. I was like, let's just see what it does. I had $10,000. So some of y'all that might be pocket change, but to me that was a lot of money at the time. I had $10,000 in my account, and I was trying to get into the car dealership business, and I wanted to buy a car to flip it. But I didn't want to use my $10,000 because I was like, what if it don't work? I'm going to lose my little money that I do got. So what I did was I went into Wells Fargo and I asked for a loan. I sat down with the bankers, and my credit score was 800. True story. I might have some screenshots of it. It was, if it wasn't 800, it was close to 800. I think it was 800 though. I go and I sit down in Wells Fargo, and I said I need to get a $5,000 loan, and they said, what is it for? I said it's an everyday loan. Because, you know, they have like different types of loans. And then, you know what they told me? Loan denied. They didn't give me the $5,000. They said no. They didn't give me the $5,000. Even though I had $10,000 in my bank account and they know I could pay it back because my money's sat there for a whole year, they denied me. But you know what he did tell me though? He said, well, I can't give you the $5,000 loan. How about I can pre-approve you for this credit card for $5,000. So you couldn't give me the loan, but you could pre-approve me for a credit card for the same amount. And the issue that I have with that, right, Lisa, you see what I'm saying, Lisa? Like, this is wild. The issue I had with that, and I understood it. I didn't understand at the time because I was a lot younger and didn't get it. But I'm going to tell you why they was willing to give me the credit card but not give me the loan. Because the credit card has higher interest. Much higher interest. So they're like, we'll give you this credit card with the, 20-something% interest rate on it. Yeah, you could get approved for that. But the loan be like, at the time was like 7% APR. And most people don't know how to calculate APRs because they don't never teach us that in school. But I'm going to talk about economics one day and I'm going to break that all down. They gave me the credit card, but they wouldn't give me the loan. And as far as the government, I tried to apply for a loan from the SBA. This is going back to the government. I was talking about the banks, how the wealthy people are just keeping all the money. It is definitely always something to set us back. Definitely. So I'm gonna go back to the SBA. I actually applied for the SBA to get a loan. I think like recently. I'm like, you know what? Let me see if they'll give me a loan for the SBA, the Small Business Administration. A lot of people got these loans during COVID. Some people got approved, some people didn't. Some people did fraud, some people didn't. Some people did scams, some people went to jail. But y'all know, SBA. As of recent though, I think it was this year, either last year, I was like, let me go to the SBA because I have my LLC and let me see if they'll let me borrow some money. And the reason why I wanted to borrow the SBA money because the interest rate is like 3%. Going back to interest rates. One day, for people who don't know about interest rates, you need to pay attention to interest rates. So I go to the SBA and I try to get this loan. I'm like, you know what? Because I got credit card debt. Right now, Florida is number 2 in the country for credit utilization. Florida is number 2 in the country for credit card debt right now. It's more people using credit cards to pay for grocery and their regular everyday bills than any other place right now besides Texas. Florida is number 2. So I went to the SBA and I tried to get this loan. It was like 3%. So I was like, let me get a business loan. I got an LLC and I have my car that I paid on for, it'll be paid off next year. I had a car that I bought under my LLC. I have a business account with Wells Fargo. I have business credit cards with Wells Fargo. My car is in my LLC name. It's registered to my LLC. I did everything they said. I went and got the bank account. I went and got the LLC with the bank account. I went and put something in the LLC, which is my car. Then I went to the SBA and said, let me just try to see if they'll give me some money. And the reason why I was trying to borrow the SBA money because the interest rate is much lower than the credit card debt that I've accumulated. I've accumulated a lot of credit card debt. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm not ashamed to say it. It's getting overwhelming out here. So when times get rough, I'm going to use the credit cards. But before that, I wasn't using them. I had 800 credit score, 830. I might have a screenshot. And I didn't have to really use credit cards. But right now, business is not as usual right now. Business is slow. I'm not afraid to admit it. The money not coming in the way it was coming in before. This has been the worst financial year I had since COVID. And I've only had 3 financial years in my whole life. One was when I was young and I was like 19 and I got fired from a job because I was, 19 and I was missing work and bad attendance and all that. I had to get a loan because I was struggling around that time. I went through a whole bunch of years of having bad credit. My credit score was like a 400 probably. You know why? Because I remember getting my first credit cards and I was like, well, if they're going to give it to me, I'm going to use it. You know what? And I'm not going to pay them back. So what? And that's what I did. I was like 19, 20. So I used their money. I had medical bills, which really started my credit card problems. Well, not credit card problems. It started my credit score problems. I had medical bills. When I turned 18, I didn't have any insurance. So I went to the emergency room. I don't remember what I went for. I think when I cut my hand, probably when I got the scar, I had to get stitches. And I went to the emergency room, and they gave me a bill that was like astronomical, like $10,000. I was there for like an hour. And I'm like, they gave me an IV. You know what? It wasn't even for my stitch. That was a different time in life. It was when I went because I felt nauseated and I was feeling like I was just out of it. I wasn't feeling great at all. I remember what happened now. Because one of my coworkers took me. Actually, she was my supervisor. She took me to the hospital because I didn't have insurance. So I went to the emergency room. Back then, people said, well, if you don't have insurance, just go to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room, and they gave me an IV for like some saline, and then they put something else in my IV. I don't know what it was, but it made the nausea go away. I don't know what it was. I would like some of that drug in the future if I ever get nauseated, because it worked. It worked instant. I don't know what it was. If y'all in the medical field, y'all probably know what it was. But so what happened when I went in for that visit? I got a hospital bill of like $10,000. And I was there for like an hour. $10,000 hospital bill. No insurance. I had no way to pay for it. My credit got screwed. I think I went down to like a 400 and something credit score. And for years, for 7 years, I waited for all that stuff to come off my credit. And I was getting these credit cards where you get like $200 and you owe like $300 already. And you pay like annual fees. And I was going through that little period. And I'm telling y'all about this for some of y'all who don't know. So some of y'all don't have to go through it. I went through those credit cards, and my score slowly ticked up. And then one time in life, I finally came up on a job, and I was making some real money, and I had a few other things going on. So I was able to pay all of my debt back. I was debt free. When Joe Biden was the president, I was debt free. This ain't that long ago. When Joe Biden was the president, I was debt free. No car notes. None of that stuff. No credit card bills. I didn't owe nobody no money. Everything was paid. I had an 830 credit score. So I told y'all to tell y'all this. So I went to go try to get a loan because my credit utilization is up some now. It ain't crazy. It's crazy enough for me. It's like 30%, which is bad, they say. So I go to get a SBA loan. So I can, I didn't tell them what I was going to do with it. I was going to pay off my debt with the SBA loan, which I'm sure that's probably not what we're supposed to do with the money. I might have got a fraud charge. I don't know. However, I was trying to get where it had like an everyday loan. And I was trying to get this loan from the SBA. At the time, my credit score was still 800. And they denied me. They gave me $0. They literally said, you are denied. So I said all of this for the people that's just joining. I can't even get a loan from the SBA. I can't get loans from the bank. And it's people like me who work, who own businesses, who trying to just find a way, who making it, barely making it, or making it. We can't get no money like that. But you got these very wealthy people, going back to subsidies, where they can go in there and ask the president, the government, the SBAs for $1 million, $2 million, $20 million to build a new building downtown. $100 million. And y'all complaining about the people that's getting EBT? When you got these very wealthy billionaires that can go borrow unlimited. Look how much money. I want y'all to look up how much money Elon Musk was given by the government. We're not going to say just Trump, because he been getting money from the government. And you wonder why he the richest man alive. If somebody gave me, $1 billion contract, I think I would be the richest man alive too. Or close to it. So the conversation I'm having to y'all, the reason why I brought all this up is because, remember, we are all on the same team. We're divided not by only race but by economics. We're segregated. It's a new form of segregation. Hope my feet don't get cut for what I'm saying. The new form of segregation is rich versus poor. You go to these rich neighborhoods, you're going to see a lot of white people. You're going to see a lot of Indian people. And you're going to see a lot of Asian people. You're going to see a lot of these Middle Eastern people. They're going to live in that neighborhood. Now, they're not going to live on the same street a lot of times, or the same subdivision, but they're going to live in the same area. But then you go back to the poor people, which is the black people, Latinos, Mexicans, Some of the white people, some white people be poor too. They be real poor. But what I'm saying is that we are divided by economics. So not only by race, gender, sex, they talk about all that stuff, but we are divided by economics. So what's happening now is that the Democratic Party tends to be for the poor people, or the people that's not rich or very wealthy, whereas the Republican Party is for the very wealthy. If y'all don't believe me, if y'all want to see the proof, and if y'all don't think the proof is in the pudding, and y'all think what I'm saying is crazy, then go back and look at Trump meetings when all these people came over, all of these the inauguration, when you got all of the top CEOs, when you got $1 trillion worth of people sitting around him. And a lot of these people were saying they were never Trumpers. They were saying that they were for the American people. The Jeff Bezos, the Mark Zuckerbergs, the Elon Musk, the guy from JP Morgan Chase, the insurance company people, all of these billionaires in one room. And most of these people got a lot of wealth because they was able to borrow that capital that we can't borrow. They was able to get the money that we couldn't get, that we still can't get no matter what we do. We're not getting approved for a couple 100,000, a couple 100 million. We're not going to get approved for it. So they all decided they want to get behind FDT and put money behind that. So now we're not only divided by, like I said, race, we're divided by economics. And a lot of people are calling this gentrification. But there's a lot that comes with gentrification, but it's kind of along the lines. So remember what I'm trying to tell y'all. If you don't believe me, go to the wealthiest neighborhoods in your city. Go to one of the high school sports games and look at the kids and notice that you don't see any blacks or browns. You might see one. And there's a reason why. They're dividing us in every way possible. Race, sex, economics, beliefs. We're divided. Divided we fall. United we stand. And it gets real political. So I think I talked enough for y'all for today. Y'all probably tired of me talking about the same stuff in circles, but I appreciate everybody who joined my live. It's been great. I think this was my biggest live yet so far. At 2 o'clock in the morning, y'all could be doing anything in the row, but y'all here with me. So I appreciate y'all. Keep supporting the channel. Follow, like, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Like, comment, subscribe. My YouTube channel, I'm trying to get that going too. Look up Real Political. It might be hard to find it because you know how YouTube sometimes is hard to find channels, but the link is in my bio on here. So yeah, y'all stay tuned in. It get real political. For everybody who joined the live, I appreciate y'all. And make sure y'all keep on fighting for what's right because we the only ones who can do it at this point.